Welcome everybody to Monsters and Madness, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast featuring some of the members and friends of the Hawk and Cleaver community. If you're enjoying the podcast, then please don't forget to head on over to hawkandcleaver.com, where you can find an amazing community of creators and content, including novels, short stories, comics, podcasts, and merchandise. So, without further ado, let's dive into this week's episode.
Okay, where we last left off, you guys, had successfully deceived the goblins into taking your false job, meeting them on the tradeway. The negotiations were short, for lack of a better word, and it ended in bloodshed. But your plan was solid, and it went a bit south, so you had to improvise and start killing. But that was fine. Unfortunately, when you got back to Russellton, you were surprised to see that it was a bloodbath. Chen, the Tabaxi bard, had been slaughtered right in front of you guys. Also, to the left of you, the Winged Horse, the tavern, part of the roof was on fire. And you are all just currently now gathered around Chen's corpse by the well. The two hobgoblins that had kind of brandished her in the middle of the square and slaughtered her bolted straight away, but you guys kind of ran to Chen first and were half-assed, not really paying attention to where they were running, but they bolted. And you are just by the well.
Does the well have water?
The well does have water, yes. It is a perfectly functioning well.
Okay, so that might be a good way to put out the fire. Do we need to go investigate the fire, guys?
Hold on, are you not cut up about Chen?
I mean, it is sad, but there are pressing matters.
Bards are well known for their pragmatism, guys. He knows there's time to grieve, and that is not now.
It's not now. We can always come back and grieve over Chen, who I spent a glorious few minutes with. But I think there are people potentially in the Winged Horse that need our help.
I think you've still got her clothes to remember her by, so that's
they
okay.
Smell of her.
Yes.
I will take comfort.
Yeah, you have her coat of many colours on still at the moment.
Never wash again.
Maybe if
it is now covered in blood as well.
I will call them Jason.
Do you think if she had the coat, she would have survived?
But the thing's on fire, guys. Come on.
Okay. How is there a bucket on a rope in the well? I guess.
Yes, it is a very typical well bucket and rope situation. You can very easily lower the bucket, quickly bring it back up, and nice, clear, crisp water is now in the bucket.
Or get 5 litres of water in the bucket so we can put out this fire.
Okay, I'm pulling up water. And Uraprax, you like the roof of this inn, so I think you should be the one to go up there.
Are you going to form like a human chain with this bucket of water?
We've only got one bucket.
Can we establish what's going on? Can someone go inside and establish what's going on if the fire spread downstairs, or are we just climbing to the roof to check out the smoke to potentially pour water on the fire?
I don't really know what you guys are doing right now.
Let's
Why do we care about it? Do we have to save it?
Only a bit of the roof is on fire. Let's stick our heads in. Hands up who's a little bit fireproof.
I imagine I should be. What's my constitution? My constitution's very average for Dragonborn.
I have fire resistance, so just in case it's a blazing inferno, I don't mind touching the door handle first.
Go, see that Mokujin's not burning.
Yes, that's a good idea. Right, shall we go and investigate the pub? Someone just keep an eye on the roof in case it becomes all on fire.
Got it.
All right. So who's running into the pub with Scamos?
I will also warn that this is the first time I've spoken to a group of people in about 5 days, so I might get really, really giddy because of this.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, people, we're doing something. Can I get you anything?
How many times that this episode during coronavirus?
Let's just all have a chat. Let's forget about the fire.
Yeah, the whole roof is on fire now.
Okay, I've got the bucket.
As the
I've
Winged
got a bucket
Horse
of
goes
water.
up in blazes, everyone's like, so how you been?
Okay, Scamos is on his way over there. Maybe he might have even peeked his head in already. I've got a bucket of water. Europrax, you're fireproof as well. Do you want to go in too, or?
I am gonna lower my jacket into the water so I can dampen it in case I need to smother any flames.
That's good.
Very good.
You would have to it's quite a deep well, you'd have to reach quite far in, but that is doable, yeah.
Okay, I'd like to do that, please.
Alright, and then like proper covering it like a hot pan on an oven and stuff, fire blanket in it.
Oh, get some of the blood off. Nice.
It's not going to have our smell anymore, though. You've just ruined that.
Okay, who's going into the pub with Scamos?
I'm just going to stand outside and chill out, I reckon.
Right, guys, the signal is if it sounds like I'm being hideously attacked, that's when you come in, okay?
Okay.
The fire is just on the roof, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go in. I'll peek my head in as well. I've got a bucket of water, so I can douse it over myself if I get set on fire.
Okay, you two, Oran and Scamos go. Oh, Jesus!
For people on the audio-only feed, Carlos has changed his backgrounds to firefighters putting out horrendous fire on the tavern.
Where are you finding these images?
Just pulling them out.
Okay, Oran, Hammerhand, and Scamos, you guys dive into the tavern. The whole place has been turned upside down. All the tables have just been like knocked over. A couple of tables and chairs have been absolutely smashed. The two that the what was her name? Oh, it's been so long. It's been such a while. Kenacha, the priest. The kind of two tables that she put together to make kind of like a first aid station. Those have absolutely been trashed as well. You do hear some grunting and almost like anguish as you kind of run in, and you see the barman Hendrik is lying on the ground with what looks like a very clearly broken leg. Like the foot is definitely not facing the right way. But apart from that, he is the only one there. And he kind of looks up at you guys, especially Scamos, as you and Oran run in, and he's like, "Oh, fuck! Yeah, okay, how are you going to talk your way out of this one?"
Well, don't talk about me talking my way out of things. Maybe if the others had been easy to talk into things, you wouldn't be in this situation. But now is not the time for blame. How are you?
I throw a bucket of water over him.
I've been better.
Tell us what happened. Tell us everything.
You guys left a couple hours later. They just took everyone by surprise. We were minding our own business, getting ready just in case things went south, and we didn't realise they were here. And they jumped. They broke my fucking leg. And he tries to push himself up and like lean up against the bar.
Can we get Hendrik some booze here? What would you like, Hendrik? Let us serve you for a change.
Do any of you heal? Have you got any healing stuff, guys? You're heroes, right?
We left you with the only healer who wasn't there to help. She was here to cause injuries. Where's Kenisha gone?
Everyone's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
They got everyone.
Absolutely everyone? They just left you behind?
Well, you know, I was lying on the ground with a broken leg. They thought I was fine. They thought there's no point taking that one. They've taken all the ones that were able to fight. Again, I told you this last time. If it all goes tits up, all I can do is hide behind my bar. I'm not a fighter. You were rousing speeches as they were.
No blame on you, Hendrik. Actually, you were more helpful than someone who is a fighter by profession. But we'll deal with this. So, how many were there that came?
I can't say about civilians because I haven't been able to move. But everyone in the bar was gone. So it was that bald guy and the drow and that little gnome in the grass skirt and that weird robot thing and the cat lady and that other woman.
How many goblins and hobgoblins? Were there any others that you noticed, or was it just the goblins?
No, it's just the big chunkier ones that hang out by the notice board.
Did it look like there was a leader among them?
He's like trying to shift his hip ever so slightly and try and get a bit more comfortable. I don't know. I couldn't. They all look the same. Can one of you give me a hand up?
Yeah, let's give him a hand up and get him outside, away from the flames.
Oh yeah, the roof's on fire. Okay, come on, I pick him up.
My roof is on fire.
Yeah, don't worry about that though. It's fine. Let's
Get
get
me
you
the
out.
fuck out of here, then.
The roof is on fire. Yes. But we do need water. We will not let this mother burn. We'll come outside and deal. But first, let's get you outside because smoke inhalation's what will get you.
Okay.
As we're
I
taking him
climb
outside.
onto the roof? Oh, sorry. Can I have climbed onto the roof and be putting out the flames with my smothered jacket?
Absolutely. Let's roll an athletics or acrobatics to nimbly get up there. Europranks.
That's not good. 7.
7. Yeah, you start trying to make your way up. You've got you put this sopping wet cloak, sopping wet trench coat over your left shoulder and start to climb up, but it's slick and you're a little bit worried because obviously things are on fire. You don't want anything to be fragile, and you do slip and fall on your ass. Ooh, 9 points of damage as you fall and kind of knock the wind out yourself as you kind of hit the dirt.
Okay. I try again.
Alright, go for it.
That's better. 23. No.
Oh.
Wait, 21.
21, yeah, that'll definitely do it. Yes. Realising
Did you
now,
that-
like, okay, stop being a dick about it. You kind of like, okay, right, it's fine, and you manage to get up there, and with your like damp cloth of the Chen's cloak, you manage to put the fire out.
I got it, guys.
Nice work.
Nice.
Probably about that point now that Oran and Scamos kind of supporting him under each arm as like a group of 3, kind of drag him into the middle of the square as well.
Yeah. So as we're setting him down somewhere comfortable, I say, look, we've got to do something about this. Did they give any indication about where they might be going, where they might be taking people?
He shakes his head. No. He kind of looks over and he sees Chen by the well. He's like, oh, Jesus. It's like the other time all over again.
Can I see anything from the roof?
Oh, that is an excellent question. Roll perception for me.
8.
8.
No.
I mean, I think you're kind of looking about like, where the hell did they go? But you can see Chen's there, and now Hendrik's you notice Hendrik's got a broken leg, and you're like, oh Jesus, we kind of bit off a little bit more than we could chew maybe. So at that moment, no, you don't see anything in particular.
Can I just verify that he doesn't see anything by also having a bit of a look around the
Swizz.
sort of like, I'm not as high up, but maybe just in the general area near the well and the
Yeah, absolutely, Finn, you can.
Okay. Is it a perception?
Yeah, I'd say perception, or if you wanted investigation, because you're on the floor and you can maybe look for footprints and stuff like that.
Look for some clues.
Yeah,
It's a good one. It's 23.
23.
Oh. Detective vision.
Yeah. So Finn, you can see that up on the roof. Obviously, Scamos has got that sorted. You look over and Uraprax has got the roof sorted. Scamos and Oran have got got Hendrik the barman, and you're kind of looking about, kind of assessing the situation, like, what the hell are we going to do now? And it looks like the hobgoblins are a bit careless, and there is a very slight trail of blood from one of their swords as they cut Chen's throat. Just kind of, obviously there is a huge ass pool of it, but you notice there is a telltale kind of slight drip as they sliced their throat and did not clean their blades afterwards, and they just bolted.
Sloppy work, just like hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins!
I'm profiling them now. Sure, no, hashtag not all hobgoblins.
Guys, I think we should follow the trail of blood.
Well, yeah.
I jump down from the roof and use feather fall to soften my landing.
Okay. Yeah, you just like a leaf on the wind.
Yep,
Take
come
the
join
lead,
you. Like, let's go.
So, Hendrik, do you want to stay out here? I mean, the fire's out. Do you want to go back in? You comfy out here?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I take it you don't want to come, no? I mean, because you can.
He looks at you and then
I'm
looks down
joking,
at the
but-
leg that is facing the wrong way.
I'm just
I'm just sorry about your tavern. I'm just fucking with it. Sorry about your tavern and your leg.
we will try and find. We've stopped the roof being on fire. We will go and try and find someone who can unbreak legs if we can unkidnap them, and we'll bring them back here.
Alrighty.
Does our wizard not have any healing spells?
I've been looking. I can't see anything.
I don't want to be that guy, but Dan, as the bard, you're the only one who has access to healing spells. And you
I
did
don't
not
have
take
any.
them. You did not take them. When we made your character and I gave you all the spells that you had access to, you did not take any healing.
And I am fine with that.
And I love it.
Let us go.
In the meantime, it's going to be like one of those games where it's like rest. Just stand outside a door for 8 hours.
Just leaning against it.
Considering we're 9 health points down on certain characters, do we need to have a quick rest here or something? Quick sandwich.
Quick sandwich.
Quick sandwich. The barman can make us a sandwich, surely.
Always
I would say that if you started to like get your backpacks out and get your little sleeping bags, Hendrik would shoot daggers at you the entire time. You can do it because that is the beauty of Dungeons and Dragons, but Hendrik wouldn't be happy about it, I don't think.
Okay, guys, we need to go follow this trail. Then, when we're out of sight, then we maybe have a quick rest.
Yeah. Maybe once we've found their location, we'll have a wee rest before we pop in,
Yeah, sounds good.
or set it on fire from the outside. I mean, hostages. I'll think about it as we go.
Or also, if we find any healers along the way, that'll also be ideal as well.
Make a
Reminding-
to-do list, guys. At some point, someone try and learn a healing spell.
Duly noted.
We'll have to put out a job list and I reckon recruit someone. Get a fifth.
Alrighty. Finn, you begin to lead the party, as you were the one that spotted the blood, deeper into the town. Seems like you haven't really travelled through this town yet, so it's all quite new to you, but as you start to progress and stuff, you can see there is more of a market-like area. This nice, large, open space probably connects quite nicely, and like on the weekends, they probably have stalls and stuff from different neighbouring countries on good days and when goblins aren't attacking. Couple of things that you notice when you kind of run past and start to follow this trail of blood. Seems to be a shop which seems to have a mixed match of random general stuff in it, general goods, that seems to have the title Trinkets and Oddities. You also walk past a shop which has nothing but like vials and potions and bottled elixirs and stuff in the shop windows, which is labelled Peculiar Aftertaste.
Is there anyone manning these shops, or are they?
It is like noon Old West.
Guys, there's our
Everything's locked and shut up at this moment. All the shutters are closed, all the doors are locked, everything's barricaded in. This is like high noon in the middle of the old West town. Like everything's shut down.
I punch through the window.
Do you punch through the window?
I'd like to punch through the window and claim a bottle and hope that it heals.
Before you punch them, should we look for half a brick just in case?
I've got
Should we
dragon scales.
Could we try the door?
I kick the door.
Oh my god.
It is locked tight.
I punch the window.
No, hold on. I can chop down the door.
Chop down the door.
I chop down the door.
Don't break a window with anything that has arteries. If you use your axe, please.
Yeah, I've got glass here. Yeah, there's glass. Okay.
So now you know he can do glass damage. Can you just chop down the doors
No, I need to know how difficult it is to hit glass.
quickly and safely? Can we?
Yeah, Oran, with your throwing axes or your big chunky two-handed, you can easily just smash one of these windows. It's very like old school, almost like grid-like little squares with wooden kind of grating kind of thing, and you can easily just one of those windows.
Oh, okay, we'll just do if there's enough in the windows, then let's do the window rather than going in through the door. And smash through, and we're looking for healing potions, elixirs.
Little loot. What can we find? I'll take things that'll hurt a person as well. That's fine. But roll a medicine or Oran, because you're smashing the window. Roll a medicine or an arcana, whichever one you prefer. Kind of just get a rough estimate of what could be healing.
Okay, this is a D20 though, yeah? A D20
yeah, this is a
roll?
D20 plus your arcana or medicine.
Okay, hopefully this is not a sign of rolls to come tonight, gentlemen. I rolled a 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, you're grabbing them, like this one's like a green glass with some kind of liquid in it, and this is this, and you're like, okay, and you're just kind of going through, and you're like, fuck it, and you just grab one.
Guys, just so I'm clear, we are officially looting this village right now.
No, I'm going to leave money for them.
Okay, how much money are you leaving?
I don't know, like, how much is an elixir in these parts, or...
Wait, does it depend on how well...
With the 4 you just rolled, you have no fucking clue, mate. You just, keep the change.
I'll put through, like... I don't know. What should I leave, guys? A little tip. 10 silver. Is that a lot? Is that a lot?
1 copper.
1 copper.
Well, a bit more for the window.
A copper.
No. Let's leave.
Did I say 5 silver? I think 5 silver's right. That's like 5 quid.
Okay. Just for shits and gigs, Oran. Make a note of that, because one day you will actually legit buy potions, and you'll find out how much they are actually worth, and how much you over and underpaid for this.
So if that's a bit for the window, don't forget that. Like, it's like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone 2 when he breaks the window of the toy shop.
Yeah, it's also...
that like 5 silver is the window, not the actual potion.
It's also for the inconvenience.
Yeah, but he was trying to like stop the robbers, where in this story we are the robbers just stealing the potion.
Yeah, but it's to save the town, so morally...
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, 1 second.
It's to save the town.
Let
me grab a little printout sheet I've got so randomly find you guys a potion. You guys are killing me.
What have I paid for?
We've all just lost like 20 morality points as well.
Yeah, it's a good thing there's not a morality meter in this.
No way, I've given them so much money, it sounds like. I don't feel bad about this at all.
Yeah, but did you leave him money for the window?
Well, it sounds like I've left them money for bloody everything.
You're a major shareholder in this business now.
For his week of furloughing while he's been kidnapped.
Oh, God.
He's made a profit out of this kidnapping.
Really? Do you think it's a profit?
No, the shopkeeper. When he has
Really? Do you think the shopkeeper's made a profit with that 5 silver?
I don't know how much windows cost.
Lewis just casually said there's a shop. We're all like, smash the window, kick the door down. Now he's having to like read through bloody potion books and stuff.
Let's see what fun one would be to give you guys.
I just want my health back. I tried to do a good thing.
Oh, Daniel, you're not getting it, mate. You are not getting your health
It's
back.
funny because as you were saying, I just want to get my health back, you interacted with your background that you were fading away like Marty McFly's family. Like, I just want my health back.
Can't do it now. Can't replicate it. Oh well.
You must have stabilised the timeline.
Okay.
No.
Now, the interesting thing is Lewis going to tell us what this is, or do we have to drink it to find out?
Oh, I ain't telling you shit.
Awesome.
I drink it.
Neck it in one.
Okay.
If Oren wants to give it to me, of course. I'm not presuming I'm going to snatch it off of a comrade.
You are my friend and colleague. You can have it. I pass it to Uraprax.
All right. This is a this is a very like almost long, thin, almost like a kind of quite square-like, almost like an olive oil kind of fancy olive oil kind of glass, like quite square and tall and long, and it seems to have some kind of
purpley liquid with like little, almost lava lamp like globules of kind of bright pink floating in it.
This is going
You
to be
sure
good.
you want to drink this? At least not until we're in like a life or death situation.
It's all right,
This is
lads. I
gonna
know
be
what
so
it is.
good.
It's that purpley globular drink. They drink this down in the Shire. Cheers to the drink that didn't show on my camera.
Are you drinking it? Okay.
I sit down and put my head in my hands in preparation.
I'm just stood back like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Silence isn't good.
Okay.
We're all just watching, waiting to see what happens to you.
Maybe it's a potion that embiggens the smallest man even. Find out.
So you chug this. You feel like it would have a taste to it, or you feel like something like it would make you retch or something because it's a random purple liquid with pink bits in it. But it seems to be odorless and tasteless and nothing really. And you kind of chug it, yeah. And nothing really happens for a split second. And you kind of look over at Finn. And Finn doesn't move his lips, but you hear Finn's voice go, "You idiot."
Can I hear people's thoughts?
You kind of turn and you look at Oran. And you kind of start to get the kind of baseline, kind of top of, like, front of his mind kind of thoughts. Like, he's looking at you and he's thinking about, like, maybe 5 silver was too much? Maybe not enough? But again, he's not moving his lips. He's just there. He's looking at you, like, and you almost hear it. You hear him kind of come up with the idea of asking you, like, "Are you okay? Is it working?" Just as it comes out of his mouth. So it's almost like an echo.
Are you okay?
That was freaky. I think so. I don't think I've got any health back, but wait. And I look over at Finn again. What's Finn saying now?
Finn, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Certainly, if I can find it. Here we go. So, just a standard D20?
Yeah, standard D20 and your saving throw for wisdom.
So, I've rolled a 9. And then the saving throw, where's that again on the thing?
It should be just above all your skills and stuff. So, like your dexterity and your sorry, not your dexterity, your acrobatics, your animal handling, your arcana. Should be like a little separate box for your saving throws next to it.
Second column, fourth box.
Save DC, is that it?
That'd be the one.
So 13 on that.
13. That fails. So, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Finn? Because Auraprax can hear it.
I'm thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing? Just drinking random potions out of a shop. That's what I'm thinking right now.
I'm thinking this guy knows how to party.
It's like, guys, I'd be careful of what you're saying because I think I can read your thoughts right now, and it's trippy. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Finn. I know what you just said.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that was pointless. So.
Oh, no, it's not pointless. Now we've got Cerebro here. We might be able to, maybe preempt some things that are going to happen. Come on then, Charles. Should we get back on the trail, or does anyone else want to try and loot anything from this now broken window as we're here anyway?
Well, I mean, can I try and find the potion?
I can see about 10 more potions through the window. Just down.
What are you asking, Auraprax?
Can I get a potion, please?
You just did.
I want to grab a health potion.
I mean, you've never really seen one before, so roll Arcana or Medicine.
We're just going to spend tonight just outside, just window shopping.
Literally, this is the loot episode.
16.
Steal.
16. Okay. You're looking. You don't seem to see another one of those weird purple and pink ones. Thank God. But you're kind of looking. You're like, look at this one. You look at that one, and then almost it wouldn't catch your eye because it's so plain. There seems to be
I can hear your thoughts, man. Stop swearing.
There seems to be a very simple potion, a round kind of vial with like a little funnel on the top, and it just seems to have like a solid red liquid in it. As you look, all the other potions seem to be swirling and have bits in them, or some of them seem to be made of more gaseous forms than actual liquid, but you spot it out of the corner of your eye and you're like, oh, of course it's this one because it's so simple in the corner. Like, of course it's that one. It's just a small, like, circular vial with some red liquid in it.
I take it.
Take it. Do you leave coin behind?
I leave 1 copper piece.
It's okay. I'm on credit. I've got an account here.
Oh my god. So you've taken a potion of mind reading and a potion of healing, and you've left 5 silver and 1 copper.
I hear
there are people probably listening to this who've played D&D before screaming at you guys.
Well, if we achieve anything here with our adventure, I imagine it's mostly infuriating people, so why stop now?
I drink my potion.
Alright. It is a potion of minor healing, so it will be 2 4-sided dice plus 2.
3, 4, 6. Cool. Thank you.
Alrighty. What do you guys do now?
Follow the blood.
Are we done pillaging now?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I don't want to run out of credit. Let's go.
Yeah, put it on my tab. Bloody hell. Okay, as you begin to continue running, obviously this little kind of trip and dripping of blood is getting less and less. So, Finn, as the one who spotted it originally, if you could continue to search for that with... I'll let you have investigation, perception, like survival if you wanted to go more like wilderness, try to track it, you know.
All right, I'll go for standard perception.
All right.
Oh, another good one. So, 22 in total.
Excellent. Yep. They're getting further and further apart with each droplet, but it does seem to continue. You can obviously Finn leads, and the rest of the 3 of you continue. To follow Finn as he kind of tracks it. It seems like now it's starting to get into less markety and shopping district and more of like a residential area. You can see to the side of you there seems to be a blacksmithing area with like a nice chunky kind of forge out the back. Gentle smoke coming from it. Doesn't look like he's forging anything currently, whoever's running that place. And it seems to get into now a more of a denser kind of residential area. Couple of turns, couple of round this bend, round that bend, and a couple minutes later it seems like the blood finishes roughly in this street. The droplets have become so few and far between now that you reckon it's this stretch between 5 houses on each side. There's a potential of 10 houses where they could have possibly gone into.
Europrax, can you use your newfound ability to hear any thoughts?
I listen.
Put your brain against each door and then listen.
Because that's a good idea of the current potion. Europrax, roll an Arcana for me to see if you can push this detect thoughts a little bit further to see if you can pick anything up.
Okay. 14.
14. It's so faint, and it seems to be coming from like the 3rd door on the right, but it's not a train of thought or like a sentence. It's more of an image, and it seems to be like a goblin but he's like climbing a mountain, but the scale of the mountain is weird. So this goblin is huge, and he's walking up the side of a mountain. And it's only for a split second, and the potion and the spell itself starts to fade, but you kind of ping it, the third door over there, and it was not a train of thought, it was more of an image of this huge goblin, like almost laughing as he's walking over mountains. Like this goblin is gigantic.
Just remind me, can my unseen servant interact with physical objects? It can, can't it?
Yes, yeah, it could open doors or shut doors or pull levers. It can carry stuff depending it's not too heavy.
Guys, can we hide around the corner and I just get the unseen servant to boot the door in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or at least knock on the door.
Or knock on the door, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
Knock, run away.
I'm so aggressive.
Should we check the door on the other side of the street and maybe like watch through the window or something rather than hide round the corner?
Let's just smash all the windows and just kick all the doors down.
I vote for Oren's idea.
Can we check? Before we do that, can I? Well, as long as it's not in direct line of sight, I guess I would have to look around. But to check the doors on the other side of the street from where we think the goblins are, to see if we can go inside.
Sure, yeah, you could. So Uraprax points out to the one that you guys. Well, he thought that he detected goblins from. And you can go to the one like adjacent it on the other side of the road if you wanted to.
And
like SWAT hand signals.
And is the door open? Can I check the door?
Very much stalemate at high noon. This is all the doors are barred, all the windows are shut, all the like shutters of the windows are shut up as well.
Okay,
but you can try. You can go over there and like try for the door and stuff.
No. Dan's sorry, not Dan. Don't know who Dan is. Uraprax is not up for that. I'm just thinking we want to see what happens if they enter the door, if they open the door. Sorry. Any thoughts?
Is there anywhere we might be able to conceal ourselves while maintaining line of sight? Are there anything we can hide behind? Any debris in the street? Any market stalls we can sneak in there? Any low walls, chest high walls we can take cover under?
Roll a perception or investigation for me, Scamus.
Okay, 15 is my base, and my perception is plus nothing, so 15.
All right. You kind of have a look around, and this the one that Uraprax has pointed out that could be the location. And you notice that kind of third one on the right that Uraprax pointed out, it's kind of unkept. Like the weeds are starting to grow and seems to be a little bit more disheveled than the other ones. The little kind of front gate is slightly on the hinge. The pathway that leads up to the actual front door, the weeds have started to overtake it ever so slightly.
Is there anything we could conceal ourselves behind? So you mentioned there's a gate. Does that mean there's a wall?
Yeah. I feel like every one of these residential areas, every house has like a little gate and a little stone kind of fence, which then goes into like a front garden. So you can all hunker
nicer area than I thought.
Yeah,
right, should we hunker behind the wall while we send? What was your unseen servant's name, Uraprax?
That's a strange name. Okay, so we're going to send.
Send to play knock door run or knock door stand and be invisible, and we'll hide behind the wall and see what happens.
Okay.
If anyone tips like a bucket of acid over him, then we'll know not to try that.
I cast with my hands in a
After we've hit
unseen servant motion, and out pops my invisible servant. I command him over to the door. Knock thrice. Stand and wait.
Okay. It's very, very bizarre. You will hunker behind the fence. You will kind of peep over the top. You see the gate like swing open and gently just ching 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 shut up. A couple of seconds. and you just hear like. Obviously, nothing's there because it's all invisible. But nothing happens.
Hobgoblins, sloppy and lazy. Haven't done their garden, don't even answer the door. Rude.
Is there a window he can knock on?
Yeah, there are several windows.
I command him to pound his fist on the window.
A couple seconds pass. You hear a thud, and as this thud, it's almost a as the kind of barn door or like the shutters of the window are loose, and one of them rattles and opens up.
Oh. Have him climb in and open the door from the inside.
I do so.
Okay. I believe your unseen servant is intelligent enough to do that. Let's double
Goddamn
check.
right he is. He's
Yeah,
my
he's a-
unseen servant.
He's a smart boy.
Doesn't use up any brain power remembering a complex name.
Yeah.
That's going to annoy me as well because I was really proud of the name I gave him.
Was
I
it
quite
like,
li- I'm getting quite attached to That's a good name.
was it some play on the fact he was like? Is it like
Yes.
it's not invisible, but it could be?
Yeah.
Invisible. No, I think unseen servant has low strength. No, he can do any action within reason.
I thought opening doors was his thing. That's what he loved to do.
He lives for opening doors.
Yeah.
Again, you telepathically command this unseen servant to do it, but because it's unseen, it's a little bit strange. You see the what are they called?
Windows.
Window panes.
Window panes. Thank you. The little shutters of the windows. Yeah.
Window shutters, I think, as well. Aren't they?
I can tell.
Yes.
I can tell you're a Mac guy, aren't you, Lewis? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a wind like a smaller like wall door.
A glass wall door was open.
You see the window opens, and a couple minutes later, the front door just swings open.
A couple minutes later, bloody hell.
Sorry, a couple seconds later.
He's only got a few IQ points out.
Took him a while to learn how to walk. And
He was trying to work out what door was called.
yeah,
Do we bum rush the place or do we take our time going in?
Should we send invisible / do we send him running and screaming further into the house to see if he can elicit some type of reaction before we
Well,
trap
I don't think
ourselves
he
in
can
there?
make noise, can he?
he's
No.
he's invisible though, isn't he?
But
He is
before we
invisible.
do that, can we just kind of peer into the open doorway now and see what we can see just from our vantage point? Because it sounds like there's nobody around.
Yeah, as you peep over the fence, although because obviously all the windows and doors have been shut, so there's only the front door and the one door that the one window that the unseen servant has opened. So there's only like a single beam of light coming into this place, but from the couple of feet inwards that you can see from this open door, it seems like nothing's there.
Guys, this is good because we've all got dark vision, right? We can all see in the dark.
Yes.
You guys.
Oh.
Can I not see in the dark into the doorway, or does it?
That is a good question. I'd say it was almost like your eyes adjusting from different forms of light. So once you're in there, your dark vision would activate and your eyes would adjust. But now you're in daylight, it's a bit tricky to see.
I think we should try and. I mean, like, let's talk about this, guys, because I think we're probably out of earshot, so we can probably talk about it. But I think we should try and just creep in, because what's invisible going to actually be able to tell us?
Yeah, let's go in. But before we do this, can we just exercise a little bit of mutually assured destruction here? So, Oroprax, you have pen and paper, right? Can we just write a little note here, because the people of this town didn't know where where this goblin hideout was. Can you just write a little sign and leave it on the gate saying suspected goblin hideout? If found without heroes emerging victorious, raze this building to the ground ASAP.
Okay. And done.
All right.
Just because if we go down, then at least the house is getting ruined, and my spirit will rest easy.
Unless we're in chains or something inside, in which case it's gonna get toasty. But
Well, that's a twist.
We'll laugh and say, "Ha! Your house is burning."
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm happy to creep in first as a bit of a tank. I think I've got a fairly high hit points and all that, so I'll start creeping in first if that's all right with everyone.
Yeah.
It's fine by me, buddy. Yes. Roll a stealth then for me, Oran.
This is not going to be good, guys, because I have a negative one stealth. Oh, 17.
17. All right. You kind of slowly open this little front gate, make your way up the pathway, and through the now opened door. It seems odd at first as you poke your way through and your dark vision adjusts, but this whole kind of house is empty. There are obviously a couple of tables and a couple of chairs, but in terms of personal things, decoration, it's abandoned. Almost like a thin layer of dust is coating everything as well.
I'm not convinced.
Who's got a high perception?
I've got a +5 on perception.
Do you want to do a perception check?
Right.
Yeah, if I just sort of double check.
Currently,
this.
it's just Oran in the house.
We all
Okay.
Everyone's still by the
Are we all
fence.
going to creep in?
I think
So
we
we
should all just
committed.
single file. Yeah, all single file.
Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you guys come in. You see this exact same as Oran saw. This place seems to be abandoned for quite a while.
Yeah.
Finn, would you like to do a little perception for me?
Yeah, just to make sure everything is what it seems. Make sure we're seeing like a true, our eyes are not deceiving us. Making sure that this isn't some sort of, or is it perhaps true what we're seeing? Maybe all these houses are like this. Is there something bigger going on here? I don't know. Maybe, we just sort of have a quick look around then.
Yeah, sure. Roll perception for me.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good, guys. It is, in total, an 8.
You kind of have a little look around. Everything seems to have a fine coat of dust on it. Looking down, though, there is less dust on the floor by the front door, but that's probably because you guys have just come in. No, nothing jumps out at you at the moment.
Is it just a single room house, or are there stairs up or down, or what?
Yeah, this seems to be the main kind of living area, and there is a kind of a kitchen with like a hearth and stuff. You can kind of see that there seems to be a smaller second room to the side, staircase that goes up into 2 small bedrooms, but it's the same as before. This whole place is abandoned, almost like you see in the old films where every piece of furniture has like a cloth draped over it, but minus the cloth. Like everything's just been left, and there's just a fine layer of dust and stuff. Even the particles of dust just kind of hang in the air.
Can I just and I don't have a particularly high perception, so I'm not sure I'm the best person to do this, but can I just have a look around the floorboards and things like that where the dust is
Absolutely.
been disturbed? Should I do
go for it.
a
Perception,
roll?
or I'd say maybe investigation, if not, because you are literally now getting on your hands and knees and like looking at floorboards.
18.
Okay. Oran, you kind of get down on the ground and you start looking at the floorboards, and you spot it. You spot it straight away. It seems like there's a kind of thin layer of dust, but then it seems to be absolutely non-existent in this kind of slight corner, just kind of in the center of the room underneath the table. And you, at first you think like, oh, it's because the table's there and there's no dust underneath because the table's on top. But the square of the table is at a different angle to this square of the dust on the floor.
Here we go, guys. Someone give me a hand with this table.
Right,
I've got to
then.
move it quietly, though.
Ah, okay.
Unseen servant, invisible, help.
Yeah, the unseen servant is there. You just hear a as like a corner of the table starts to go up. Like, he's got one end and he's waiting for someone else to pick it up with him.
Okay, I'll go grab it with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You lift this up, and as you start to kind of investigate further, these floor panels, although kind of slanted and segmented, the whole thing lifts up as a trapdoor.
It's go time.
You lift
It
open
is,
the trapdoor
it
and you
is.
can see that it leads down into not a basement but a cave-like structure. As you kind of lift it over, you can see that the foundations of this house has been like smashed away with like picks and axes, and the dirt's been revealed, which has also been dug up, and a makeshift ladder's been put in, like crude juts of wood to support this, but like the walls of this kind of tunnel and this ladder seem to be just like the dirt has just been scratched and like shoveled away. It goes down like a good 10 foot, almost like a whole story and a bit, and you can make out with your dark vision that it kind of leads into like a singular room down at the bottom of these stairs.
But as it stands just now, we can't see or hear anyone down there. There's no light source.
With that very high rolls that you guys just heard, you can't hear anything at this exact moment in time.
Well, what do we think, guys?
This is clearly we're heading into the lair by the sound of it. Should we proceed down but cautiously, go as stealthily as we can?
Can I just point out I don't have night vision?
Yeah.
Or
I
dark
remember.
vision.
Well,
So I'm going to need something to see.
You could I could tie the scarf on to my like belt, and you can hold on to the scarf
I will
and follow me.
Yeah, I do have a tinderbox and torches, but let's go down in the dark for now, and we can use the scarf belt to guide Uraprex down, and then we won't generate any light until we need to. Because as I recall from our decision as to whether we were going to attack and do our meeting in day or light, hobgoblins and goblins don't necessarily have better vision in the dark than in the daytime, right?
From what you guys were discussing in the last game, they too have dark vision, and with their shifts that they were doing to protect the board, the notice board, they've got people working days and they've got people working nights, so it wouldn't have affected your daytime strategy.
They do have dark vision then, so yeah, let's try and keep the light off just to avoid attracting attention if we can, and then we'll light them up if we need to. Have you got the guide scarf ready?
Yeah, I think you're wearing it, Uraprex, but pass it to me, pass the end to me, and I'll tie it onto the back of my belt. Be good.
There you go.
All right.
Over.
As we go down into this self-made cave or chasm-like area, can everybody roll a stealth for me? But Uraprax, that's going to be at a disadvantage because you're climbing semi-blind, being guided by a cotton, a woolen scarf.
16 plus
22.
Is that disadvantage?
Oh.
No.
Oh, fuck. So my first roll was a 19, the next was a 1. So 4.
Hey, that's exactly what I got as well. So the two people tied together both got
The blind. The blind.
I got 14.
I got 22.
Oh, damn it.
I fear that we've ruined it for everyone. We've ruined the element of surprise.
Okay.
Fall down the stairs.
I remain behind. No, I don't. I'm going.
Scamos, you make your way down first with that really high roll, and as you kind of slide down the this ladder and get to the bottom, you notice it is a very small, like 10 foot by 10 foot room. Not very good, or not very big, sorry. And it seems to have been carved to have one pathway that kind of leads out and banks. And as you get down to the bottom of these ladders, sorry, you notice there is a little bit of torchlight coming from beyond this little 10 by 10 foot room, with a couple of like bits of wood to keep the walls from completely collapsing in. Seems to go onwards, bank to the left, and there seems to be light emanating from the left. Finn, you come down, you stand next to Scamos, and there's only one way to go, and it looks like that's the way to go. And as you guys kind of look up, you just see as Uran and Oroprax both slip and fall down this ladder.
Dude, I'm so sorry. Don't take help.
Yeah, of course I'm going to take help. Taking help is part of my job, dude.
Back to the potion shop.
Yeah, Oroprax,
Yeah, I read its mind.
and Uran, you both take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you both slam to the ground, one on top of the other.
In potion. I'd be on 5 hit points at this point.
Quickly, Finn, use your distant voice to make that sound like it might have been a mouse.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Squeak! Squeak!
Yeah, if there is anyone here, they clearly know we're here. So I think we need to just look cool and casually walk around the corner as a strong.
If anyone comes out, we'll say, "Aha! You've been drawn by the sound we made."
It's exactly what we planned all along.
It was deliberate. Yeah.
Are you guys progressing down into the pathway?
I think we need to just get
Why
going.
not? Let's go. Let's
This is a hobgoblin secret underground tunnel, so it's not super huge. It is a single file jobby. Who is going first? What is the pecking order? That is the question.
Well, I kind of basically am a tank. I've got loads of hit points and loads of armor, so I think I should probably go first. But
Which means I have to go second.
Does mean that...
Oran, you go first. I'll go behind Oran, because I also have the ability to be able to try and like scamper out of the way if I need to.
Oran, then Scamos.
Is Oran going to sacrifice the scarf to someone else?
I'll give it to whoever. Yeah. Someone look after this guy.
You were very clingy with the scarf.
Wait, you're getting rid of the scarf?
No, we're heading towards the light now, though, right? So I take it, Oroprax can make out the light that's up ahead of us.
It is very dim, but yes, Oroprax can see.
Ah, okay. I'll put my scarf back on then. Never mind.
Well, offer rescinded.
Okay,
if you guys run off, I am screwed. I'll go third because I don't want to go first or last in case something comes out of the dark that I can't see.
Okay, and then Finn is up. Go, bring out the rear.
I think before I join the single file, though, based on what you just said, I'm gonna, as I walk sort of past, I'm gonna use some mage armor on Oran. As I walk past, I give him a touch on the shoulder.
Oh, that's sweet mage armor.
Bless his shoulder with some mage armor.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Oran, your mage armor is going to be, well, your current armor will be 13 plus your dexterity.
Oh. Okay, so my dexterity is... It's a -1, or it's an 8. I don't know which one I picked.
Okay, so this mage armor gives you a 12 AC, which doesn't beat your normal. So, although the offer was there.
Oh, right. Oh, I see.
And I would say, as a mage, as a sorcerer, Finn, you would have been aware of that Oran wouldn't need your mage armor.
Damn.
Would you like to redirect it to someone else, or would you like to provide it?
No, I'll keep it for now, just in case. So yeah, I just join the file on the back then. And...
Keep a spell for in case we need some firebolts coming out there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, you guys continue down this pathway, single file. very carefully, like having to twist your shoulders ever so slightly because the walls are very rough and jagged. Bits of crumbling rock could alert people of your presence even more. And as you bend around the corner, you see there's another kind of small... It opens up to another small kind of room-like area. No bigger than the one with the ladder. Probably 15 by 15 foot. This is completely empty apart from let's say like an apple crate kind of sized box with a goblin sitting on top of it who is currently fast asleep.
Right. He's the only one in this room.
You look around and yes, there's the only one in this room.
Right. Guys, do we try and question him or do we try and slit his throat in his sleep? Because dying in your sleep is what a lot of people aspire to.
I mean, I kind of want to kill him, but also, if he's the only one here, I feel like it's a bit of a wasted journey.
Oh no, but this isn't a dead end room, is it? Is that what?
No, there is another passage. It seems like this is like almost like a checkpoint. You have your initial room with the ladder. It's kind of, the pathway's gone forward and bent round to the left, and as it's bent round to the left, it's opened up again, and there's a goblin asleep on a crate. Beyond him, like on the other side, there is another pathway that seems to lead off.
Okay.
Before we head any further, then shall I try and sneak up to him, and we'll try and intimidate him into making. If he makes even a peep, then I'm slitting his throat.
I think
hold the blade to his.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them are giving us any information. I think you should just.
I give him one chance, and then because to be honest, like.
I mean,
but you might not kill him immediately if he wakes up.
I do have a new ability, which is Zone of Truth, meaning that they have to tell me the truth if I cast it on him. But at the same time, do I want to use that on the first goblin we come to?
Nah.
Because it might give intel to the rest of the hive.
Can I sort of use my knowledge to think of what's the likelihood of this creature knowing any English or being able to speak with us at all?
Roll a survival for me.
9.
9. From what you've gathered, these goblins are aggressive. They just aggressive, but at the same time really kind of meek, and will follow the next biggest thing. But they live and kind of die by the sword. They like very much rather die than tell, from what you've gathered from your encounters with goblins.
I say we just kill him whilst he's asleep.
Fair enough then. That's all we hope for. Shall I take care of this?
Well, should we all sneak round him? You take first point, but then if we're all there, we can all jump on him just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So almost like horror movie-esque, as this sleeping goblin just perched up on this apple crate. All 4 of you just slowly start to loom up next to him. Scamos, you're going first?
Yes, please.
All right. With your new assassinate feature, you'll get the advantage on this roll.
Exactly.
Oh wow! We didn't know about this.
Yeah,
you've all leveled up.
We had a couple of choices. I could have become a better burglar, got better at climbing, but I chose to get better at assassinating people.
I'm worried.
And you were the one that wanted to talk to him, and you got to play with him.
I had the line. I was going to give him the chance. You know, my hand over his mouth. You make a sound that isn't telling me what I want to know, and then you'll be doing a great impression of a plug draining that last of its water.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We can just do that. There's no time for questions. Our thoughts on goblins are clear. So let's sneak up and get ready. So, Lucy, am I rolling for my throat slitting or sneaking up on him?
No, you guys. He's fast asleep. If you would actually like to do that, you can, but you feel like you could get up close enough to him that it wouldn't be an issue.
I'm going to go up then, and using my assassinate skill, I'm going to slit this little guy's throat.
Okay, roll your attack with advantage.
Okay, so let me just bring this up here. I take it, am I going to use my rapier or my dagger? Rapier's better.
Go for your rapier.
Alright, so
stab right in the in the throat.
So, rolled a 13 plus 4 for the rapier on my first go.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Do you want me to roll for the second one? It doesn't matter if I've hit. I think, right?
Let's see what happens with that first one. So roll your damage.
And my damage is 1d8 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
The d8 is the sort of
Kite. I call it a kite, or like a diamondy kind of shit.
There we go. I see him. I was about to say, is it the orange one? But I imagine colours vary. I got 7, so plus 2 is 9.
And your sneak attack, which is an additional 2d6.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten all about those. So then I will have another 1 and another 4, so another 5, please. So 9 and then 5.
14 points of damage. Let me just double check. I don't think it's going to go well. Oh yeah, this guy had 7 hit points. He's gone.
He's doubled.
His eyes shoot open as the blade initially goes into his throat, but they stay open, and he tries to speak, but he's gone.
I close his eyes and say, "Shh."
Before we move on, can I check what's in the barrel, the box?
I knew you was going to check the box.
Oh yeah, we're looting this guy as well because we are down 5 silver, guys. Come on, and 1 bronze.
That is very true. Okay, so Oran, as soon as this goblin's dead, you just kind of push the body off this crate and it just slumps to the floor.
I do have a crowbar in my backpack as well, so I could use that if that's better.
Yeah, that would give you advantage on the roll, but this is a very old kind of fragile crate, and you don't need to roll for it. You wrench it open, and it seems to be like full of grain.
I just put my hand in and just check that it's just all green all the way through.
Yeah, you kind of put your hand in, rummage around.
That's goblin grain.
Leave it open so they get rats.
You rummage your hand in them, but no, it just seems to be grain.
Okay. Had to check, guys.
I think you were very wise to do so.
How many health points do you regain by eating raw grain?
I'm asking for a friend. No, if anything, I'll probably take some away.
Unless you're going to take the time to mill it and make bread.
Yeah, it depends how bad it cuts your gums. Okay, you have a dead goblin, you have a crate full of grain, you have another passage that continues to lead on and kind of banks slightly to the right.
Has our erstwhile goblin friend got anything on him?
Has the goblin got anything on him? That's a good question. Let's have a look, see. You start digging into his pockets.
Please.
And you feel something, you're like, aha! And you pull it out, and it is a dead fish head.
Stupid goblin. Cheap lad. Can I put the dead fish head in the grain, ruining it and attracting rats?
Yeah, sure, you just
got him.
Toss it into the bucket.
If we don't get out of this, guys, they're going to be still so inconvenienced already. They're going to have to move.
Yeah. 1 for us, goblin 0. Now their grain is ruined.
Yeah, they got Chen. Their grain, though.
Can we not bring her up for a little bit, please?
I thought you weren't upset.
You were fine over it.
I'm not. I'm like just move on.
One of those
move on, guys.
It stews over time. I get it.
On, guys.
Okay, you are now in this kind of lookout area where the goblin fell asleep on the job, and there seems to be another path that leads on.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we continue in the same order as before, I guess, down the passageway.
Yep.
Sounds good.
You continue on this passageway, not too long, almost like maybe 15 foot, as it slowly banks to the right. This one opens up very wide. You can see the light is getting a lot brighter in here. They seem to have a tiny little kind of campfire going, only small, just embers. A couple of torches scattered about the place as well. As this opens up, you get this kind of waft as you start to bang around the corner of
mildewy kind of damp water and stagnant water, and you can hear very slightly just a very telltale just singular drip every so often as you get closer and closer to the this next chamber. Beyond, on the opposite side, as this kind of place opens up to a good 40 foot kind of area, you can see huddled by the little campfire with a couple of embers, there seems to be two little goblins. Their backs to you, they're not paying attention to what's coming down your way, and they both seem to have fishes on sticks and just holding it over the embers, just barely trying to get a little bit of char on it just to crisp, but they don't want to create too much of a fire down here in the caves. To the left of them, there seems to be a kind of almost cleared out area and kind of almost like swept aside, as a bit of damp and water seems to be trickling from the cave walls itself and kind of pooling as this kind of where this kind of dank stagnant water smell is coming from, as this almost like basin of poolish greenish water is starting to gather in the corner. Next to the goblin as well, you can see on the other side to the right of this chamber there seems to be two passageways that split off in two different directions.
Who's the stealthiest here then? We need two stealthy people. I reckon Joel stealth these guys.
I'm probably the stealthiest of us. If I stab one, does someone want to drown the other one in that pool of water? Because you can't scream when your mouth's full of water.
You can try.
Who's strong enough to drown someone? Oren, how do you feel about drowning? Not personally, the act of drowning.
I'm okay with it, but I'm not very stealthy to get over to them, but I'm game for giving it a try.
And that's either that or who's our second stealthiest, because we've all got something sharp, right?
I'm okay-ish with stealth and okay-ish with strength.
There we go. I'm happy to take the back seat for Uraprax and Scamos to go and stealth this up.
Yeah.
I'll Oren.
Yeah. We do a little silent fist bump as we start to creep over.
All right, roll a stealth for me.
Oh, fuck it. All right. Oh, dramatic. 13.
Just looking at my... I think I should have learned this now. So I roll the 12, but I get +6 to stealth. So 18.
Excellent. They have not turned their backs. They are still hunkered by this little fire, trying to cook their little fishes on sticks. You slowly get a bit closer and a bit closer and manage to get up to them, still not alerting your attention.
We signal to each other silently
Yeah.
and then attack dually.
All right. Let's start with Scamos.
I'll take another cheeky assassinate / throat
Yes,
slit.
that would be technically an assassinate, yeah.
So I get advantage on this, right?
Yes, advantage on this roll.
So glad I got advantage because my first roll was a 3 before my bonus, but then I rolled a 17. So 17 + 4, 21.
That definitely hits. Roll damage as well as your sneak attack, your 2d6.
So the D8 comes out at a 2, and then my 2d6s are a 5 and another 5. So 12.
Yeah.
I
That
do
goblin,
love this.
again, just-
I love an assassinate.
Quick, seamless, straight across the neck. Again, its eyes it's gone. As soon as that's happening, Uraprax, you're also attacking. This goblin does not know you're coming and is surprised, so this will be with an advantage as well.
Like, fuck for that. First roll was a 3. Second, 17.
17, that definitely hits. Roll your damage.
7.
7 hit points is exactly what it has, just enough.
Yes.
It goes to take a bite of its little fish,
Aww.
and then it just kind of, almost like cinematic, like it's a close-up on the goblin's mouth, and he goes, like, opens, and it's just... and the camera pans out as you just see the head roll off the body.
I sneak up on the cameraman.
Yeah, you break the fourth wall and look directly into the camera.
Do you get any health if you eat the fish that he was going to eat?
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Cook it.
You guys have been playing Skyrim too long. Just eating. My pockets are full of apples. Eat.
I don't know if that's how it works here or not.
There will be times where you will be hungry, and when we're venturing in the wild, it goes without saying that you would be living off rations or hunting wild game. But in terms of healing, it would be physically resting or drinking potions.
Okay.
Quick side note, did any of you guys play the first Fable game on Xbox?
Yeah, I did.
So I always remember that game because you come across a lot of pies, and they give you loads of health, so you just keep eating pies like you do in any video game. But in that game, if you eat pies, you get like fat points. And then after like a few hours, you realise your character is so fucking obese you can like barely walk, and then you have to spend like 20 hours of the rest of the game like eating celery to get the weight off. And it's impossible because once you're that fat, you can never burn it off. It's just ridiculous.
Amazing.
It's a brilliant mechanic.
Yeah. Okay, back to the real world.
So there
Yes.
are two passages.
There are two passages, so as you can see, this kind of chamber is where you've come up from the bottom. You've got the little campfire where they were cooking, and the little kind of pool of stagnant water that seems to be collecting in the corner, and then two pathways on the right-hand side of the chamber.
That is a nice looking map.
Oh, thanks, man.
While you guys decide in the direction, I've got to quickly go and see a wizard about a potion. I'll be right back.
Just go in the corner pond.
By which
Yeah.
I mean this.
He's off back to the potion shop. Isn't he?
Yeah, he's going all the way back to the potion shop.
Can we perception check the tunnel entrances?
Absolutely, you can. Roll perception for me.
You can't tell me what to do. 14.
14, really good. Which one would you like to look? Would you like to look at the
Left.
the left one?
Yes.
It seems to be dead straight, very, very long. Again, torches and a little bit of light emanating from beyond. And you can see, seems like there's maybe one, maybe two figures. It's hard to make out. There's definitely something going on up there. But more importantly, there seems to be very big, like stalagmites and stalactites seem to be jutting out and erupting in that area. Hard to make out if there's more than two people or if it's more stalagmites and stalactites. But there seems to be objects beyond. But it seems like that is a very long, narrow pathway that opens up to a very large area.
Can I do the same to the other corridor?
I'd love that. Yeah, go for it.
18.
18, really good. This one, it's a little bit harder to see down as it slightly banks to the right ever so slightly. And it seems like it goes up a little bit. So as you kind of careen your head down to the left to try and see up and to the right as this kind of pathway, you see it seems to be several more crates you kind of make out in that chamber. It seems to open up to a smallish chamber with several crates. And it's... You kind of see... Looks a little bit odd, but you kind of see a figure lying like sideways on the ground, like it could be asleep. But you're pretty sure it's wearing a grass skirt.
Oh, it's our pal.
Okay, so there's two corridors. There's four of us. Is this time to split up, or do we just go for the safer corridor? What do you reckon, guys?
I think we go and get our grass skirt guy. I think this will just be a detour, and I think we will go down the leftmost. But we should at least go and see.
This is
Yeah.
this Brock?
Can't remember his name.
That is right. It is Brock. Well done.
I keep extensive notes, by which I mean a note on my phone.
Okay, so you go down the right passageway towards what looks like could be Brock. All right.
But we do it sneakily and quietly.
All right. Everybody roll stealth then for me.
It's going to be a goblin in a skirt.
Guess what happens if it is a goblin in a skirt?
You assassinate it.
Yeah. Rolled a 10. I should have really remembered what it is by now. And plus
7
6, so
for me.
16.
16 for Scamos. Uraprax?
7.
7.
Twe-
Uran?
12 from me.
12, not bad. Finn?
3.
3. Okay. Two good
One of us is
deserved.
always falling over.
So you guys start to make your way down. Finn and who was it? The Finn and Uraprax who had the lower ones.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. As you venture into this tunnel, that seems to go up and to the right slightly. As it starts to incline and go to the right, it does split again to a second tunnel, and you guys forget what you're doing for a split second. Are like, guys, it splits it. Never mind, kind of thing.
Oh.
You do the classic loud whisper, like kind of thing, which is just as loud. But you continue. This chamber opens up. It's not as big as the one you were just in with the pool water and the goblins by the campfire. Seems to be several crates and barrels packed up on the sides. The room seems to be split in half as well. As you kind of venture into this room, it seems to jut upwards a good 5 foot with a ladder, and what is above you can't really make out. It's probably more like 8 foot. This kind of split in this chamber. As you get in there proper, though, you see that seems like everyone is here. Amit, Kenacha, Malaquis, Brock, and John. They are all lying down on the floor. They are all beaten within an absolute inch of their lives. Apart from Brock and his grass skirt, because the goblins didn't know better. Everyone seems to be stripped of their weapons and armour, and everyone is bound and gagged and handcuffed. Half of them are asleep and or passed out. You're not sure at this immediate moment as you come into the cave, but it seems like everybody's here.
Okay, you said there was like a secondary sort of way, secondary corridor.
Yeah.
Is that sort of further back now, or is that off this room?
Yeah, so you've got this room kind of opens up into a chamber. It'll be a little bit hard to see, but I've done a huge drawing of the thing here. So you've got this little chamber here, and you can see there's like a solid split, and a ladder that goes up.
Yeah.
So you guys are in the kind of bottom of this chamber. It's not huge, not as big as the last one, maybe 30 foot by 40 foot, but it's split in half. So 20 foot of this is all these guys on the floor bound and gagged, and then it juts upwards a good 10 foot with a ladder going up. You're not sure what's on that second side, but it's like up.
Before we rush to try and free these guys, because I think if we can, they're all beaten to within an inch of their lives. If we can maybe get to them and free them, maybe Kenacha has a better chance at healing anyone that's battered. But before we rush to them, shall I go and try and make sure we're not overlooked by creeping up to the other side of the room?
Yeah, shall someone take guard behind us while you do that as well, just so nothing sneaks up?
I'll take guard behind us.
All right.
And then I guess whilst that's going on, me and Uraprax maybe head towards the sort of gagged people and passed out people just to get a closer look at them.
Just be ready in case. Just hold back until I've given you a nod in case there's someone waiting to ambush us.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll wait for maybe the signal then.
Okay, Oran, you immediately spin around on the spot, almost like back in the old gladiatorial ring, covering your 6. Keep an eye on that pathway that you've come from. Scamos, would you like to roll stealth for me?
I can indeed. 13 plus 6, so 19.
Very
plus 6
silently,
comes in very handily.
straight up this ladder, very swiftly and very sneakily. As you kind of jut up onto the top part of this ladder, you see it's completely empty, but it seems to center into almost like a hole, like a big enough to crawl through, but not big enough to walk through.
Okay, I will just turn on my. I'll just turn around and give the guys a little nod, but I'll stay where I am, so I've got height in case anyone approaches.
All right.
I'm gonna observe while we. I'll be listening carefully for noises while you guys work.
Okay, Finn, who do you go up to?
So, just remind me who's there again, please.
Apart from Chen, everyone's there. You've got the Warforged, the wooden Iron Man. You have the cleric, the female cleric, Klenacha, who gave you an extra 5 hit points before you went to go fight.
Let's go straight to her then, because she seemed like a bit of a leader, I think, before. So, and also the healing abilities as well, perhaps.
Okay. You kind of rush over to her. She's very, very difficult to rouse, but she eventually kind of opens her eyes, kind of almost with a start, realizing where she is again, and kind of looks up and locks eyes with you, and is like obviously gagged, but you kind of pull the rag out from her mouth, and she's like, "What took you?"
We were raiding a medicine shop.
Didn't have any backup Kenacha from the top.
I free the War Mage. What's he called?
Amit, the Warforged.
Yes, the Warforged.
He can wait, surely.
If I feel like we need
He's the
him.
coolest one. Come on.
I know he's the coolest one, but
That's how we value people.
does he
I
need
kneel
medical
behind.
attention?
I kneel beside him and say, Orin wants to re-challenge you.
Yes.
This
I might
Warforged
win. Win this time.
He Yeah, okay. His kind of orange-like eyes are almost like non-existent, very dull. The head just spins, like nothing else moves. It almost kind of spins 180, almost like an owl. Kind of locks eyes with you, and there's just like a zzz, 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 as it just ever so slightly like shakes its head.
Oh,
That's a win. I take that as a win.
It's got a huge ass, like this, like a lot of the wooden parts of him that he's made of have been like splintered. Like there's a good like almost like splinter scar across his like sculpted face.
Hang on, let me just check. That makes him cooler.
The survey's in. He's cool.
move on to
Kenacha goes over, is still locked eyes with Finn, and she kind of looks at you, Finn, and is like, "Where's Chen? What's going on?"
Yes.
I say.
Pranks.
Change the subject.
We have her coat. We just don't have her.
Those bastards killed
You
her.
see what I mean? There was an incident.
She's not very well.
Her eyes are bloodshot and red from the attack that's in the kidnapping, but you can tell like she saddens a little bit. It's like it's fine. It's fine. We didn't know. We didn't know. I don't know where the keys are. I'm sure whoever's in charge has got them. So if you're still feeling brave enough for it, can you kill these fucks for us, please?
Now you're talking my language, Kenacha.
How many have you seen, and what were they sort of carrying when they brought you here?
Well, it was two of the larger ones, the bugbears, and they just got the jump on us. We weren't expecting them to get there so quickly, and there was more of them, but I don't know if they're all here yet. All here still. There's something else here, though. Something bigger. I haven't seen it. It hasn't come into this chamber yet, but I don't know what they're talking because it's some strange goblin language, but there's something much bigger and louder here.
Okay.
Before we go ahead, is there any chance you could heal me?
He tripped a few times and he's caused quite a bit of damage to himself.
I am quite the clumsbot.
You, of all people, Bard, know how our magic works. We must rest before we can channel
I didn't kill her.
divine energy.
I don't think he does know how your magic works.
I didn't say you did.
Just establishing that.
Okay.
Just want to be clear. So
Looks-
does
she
that
looks
change?
at you
things?
If I could rest and pray properly, not bound and gagged, I would be able to channel the divines and heal you, but I'm tapped, for lack of a better word.
I am quite obviously frustrated at the total lack of help at all stages of this journey. So I reply, "Is there anything you can do?" And then realise I've shouted out of turn and withdraw with a pitiful look on my face and say, "I'm sorry. It's been a very stressful day for everyone."
I casually mentioned that Uriprex may have drunk 1 or 2 potions as well, that we weren't entirely sure what they were.
You
But
should
yeah.
always read the label.
Has my power worn off, by the way?
Yes, the last bit of your power was detecting the
Right.
the
Goblin climbing a hill, a mountain.
Before we leave Kennecha, can we ask her, because there's a couple of different tunnels and pathways and turns that we could take. Can you remember how you were dragged up here, where this big thing could be? Should we keep on going up these ladders, or should we go back down the way we came?
she kind of juts her head over to where you are. She says, "They dragged us in from there, but when they come to check on us, they come from both sides, up there, up that ladder and the doorway you're standing in now."
Okay.
Right. So there's obviously this ominous-looking pit that's that we're looking over here, and then there's back the way we came. What do you think, guys? Do we want to check on anyone else? Do we know that everyone else is at least alive now?
Well, everyone's here, so I think we're good
But
on that.
have we roused everyone?
Some people are really hard to come to. Some people are unconscious. But the classic back of the hand against the nose, people are still breathing. Everyone is still okay.
So I think we need to advise them to just sort of lay low, almost pretend, they're asleep or whatever. Whilst we tell them we're going to head on, hopefully find these keys that we need, rescue them, save the day, all that jazz.
Before we move on, let's give them a quick pep talk and say, "Hey guys, now rest as best you can. If we come back through here, there's every possibility that shit may get pretty real pretty fast. So if we come back here with keys, I want you to be rested, charge as many spells as you can, be ready to move as quickly as you can and as best as you can. Now all pay attention.
Because you might
to this.
actually have to do something soon.
Yeah, especially you, John. Jesus.
Oh,
He's unconscious. It's fine.
Jesus.
I'm not going to forget this, John. Locking the place. Anyway, come on. There's not the time for that. Stop dwelling on it. So, shall we? Which way do you want to go, guys? Ominous pit or back down the corridor?
I think.
It's not an ominous pit. It's the kind of elevated section of this room. It seems to be nothing but blank, apart from like a singular hole, like a tunnel, like a crawl space. Yeah.
Crawl space tunnel.
Crawl space sounds fun, but also more dangerous.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
inclined to go with the crawl space as well.
but that's
Drum-
presuming
drum-
that's one person, or it's not like a massive crawl space, is it?
Very much like last time, it would be single file, but it would be one at a time, and there would be some rolls involved.
I'm willing to
Dramatically,
go
it makes
first.
sense.
I'm willing to go first.
I mean, you are a dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm very much at home under... Oh, I'm a mountain dwarf, though. I don't know if that means that I'm at home underground. I don't know.
No, yeah, the mountain dwarves like live in the caves in the mountains and make their homes in the mountains themselves.
Yeah, I'm in my element down here, guys. I'm happy.
Okay, so shall we crawl for it?
Let's do this.
Huzzah!
Let's do it.
All right. Are you just all around? You just going for it? Just kind of start splunking and.
Well, I'll have a little look down at first, just to see. Peer down.
It seems like a very very like army training academy. It seems to only be maybe 8 foot long, and it seems to does open up, but it would be a very much hands and knees under the barbed wire or through the tunnel kind of wriggle.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it.
All right. This is more of an athletics thing. Roll an athletics for me.
18.
18. All right,
Nice.
You get down, you start army crawling. As you start to squeeze in and start to kind of tuck your elbows in and get nice and tight, you kind of hear just a little bit of a scrape and a little kind of ching 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 as the kind of soft dirt just bounces off one of your shoulder pauldrons. But you kind of shimmy and push your way through into the next chamber.
Okay.
It opens up huge. This place is very, very big. And it seems like you are on an upper level of it. Seems to be almost like a kind of 30-foot radius, and then it drops down again, and then opens up to this large area. Several stalagmites and stalactites. Seems almost horseshoe shaped as it kind of bends around to the right, and you can't see the other kind of 3 or 4 walls of this kind of big chasm, this big chamber. Amongst all the stalagmites and stalactites, there are another campfire, just the small embers of it, and a couple of torches kind of willy-nilly just shoved into the kind of dirt of the walls. And you see 2 of these hobgoblins, these big burly ones, and they seem to be on flanking and talking to a third person, a third entity that you haven't seen before. This thing is much bigger than the hobgoblins and is covered in almost like a light brownish fur, where the goblins and hobgoblins were like these horrible kind of brownish greenish skin tones. This seems to have a short kind of fuzz all over it. Big kind of chunky underbite of a jaw with little tusks pointing out. Thin pointed kind of ears. I'd say, what was the best way to describe it? We're going very high fantasy Goblin Chewbacca mix thing.
Okay.
This is what is known as a bugbear. Huge, covered in fur, strong. Seems to be chatting something to the 2 larger hobgoblins next to it. But it's all in a language that you do not understand. As well as the 2 hobgoblins and this large bugbear character, there also is another goblin, a singular goblin, almost like a PA who is taking a step back and is trying not to kind of be in this conversation because he doesn't want to get his head smashed in, kind of thing.
Okay. They're down below me, so I'm on an elevated platform.
You're kind of on the veranda. There seems to be another ladder that leads down, but it's not as severe as the last one. This is almost like a 5-foot drop. You could just jump it if you really wanted to. And as it goes down, it opens up to this large chamber.
And these 4 individuals, 2 hobgoblins, bugbear, and PA, are the only creatures that I can see, and I've got
they are
pretty
the
good
only
vantage.
creatures you can see. Yeah, with your vantage, which is very good. This is currently what only you can see.
Does it look like there's any places though that others could be hiding?
This place is quite large and almost like a horseshoe shaped, so there is the potential of them being more round the bend.
Okay. Guys, I could whisper or chuck a little pebble through or something. I think you guys should come through, and I have some thoughts about this, but you guys need to come through, I think.
Yeah, so I think if we were just getting single file then and maybe follow Oran's approach quietly through this crawl space to meet him on the other side.
All right. You can either kind of muscle your way through this and just army crawl it like Oran did, or you can stealthily almost like slide and kind of the hands in front of you and pull yourself and slowly drag yourself through it.
You know what I'm doing.
While you decide that and roll, let me just grab the book. 2 seconds.
I will stealth.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna roll stealth.
All right, Finn. You were the one who said you should probably go through next. What was your roll?
So 16 on the dice, and then my stealth is 0. But was there an alternative method you mentioned?
I would let you take athletics if you wanted to just kind of army man as fast as you can underneath it.
I'll go for the stealth because that's higher, but it's still a +0. So yeah, 16.
16 is good. You are almost very much Mission Impossible through the air vents, not to let off the sound alarm system. You're kind of pulling yourself through this, and you get through, and you kind of see the kind of large opening area that Oran has already discovered. Who's going through next?
After you, Scamos.
I'll head on through. I'll stealth my way through.
Okay, what did you roll?
I rolled 12 and then +6, so
12 +6, excellent. Yeah, no worries as well. Straight through, no issues.
Oh, stealth.
Rex?
I got a 21.
21. By the time the other 3 have gone through, all the loose bits of dirt which may have kind of knocked into you and made a ruckus have gone, and you just whoosh, straight through. Alrighty.
You were somehow there before I was, Dan.
Yeah. What took you? Okay.
So I get my good rolls out of the way
change.
before we get into combat.
Okay, so here's what we got. You guys are on this kind of upper veranda here, and a little ladder that goes down. Got large rubble and stalagmites and stalactites, large crates. The bugbear is over here, and it kind of curves round like that.
Can I have a quick look at these enemies from a safe distance to see what sort of weapons they're carrying, whether they're like ranged bow and arrows or whether they're more like close combat weapons?
Roll a little perception then from where you guys are. Currently on your little high vantage point, not
So-
alerted.
In total, 16.
16. Looks like the goblins both have a small blade at their hips as well as a bow over their backs. The
A
large
bow,
a large chunkier hobgoblin, I believe, also has a javelin on its back. Let's have a look. See.
Right.
The large hobgoblins wielding the same as the goblins, a dagger, a blade at their sides and a bow on their back, but obviously much bigger and chunkier, as they are bigger and chunkier. The bugbear itself, you can see he has strange armour just on parts of him, and a large mace-like morning star. A huge bat-like with just gnarly, jagged bits of iron just jutting out of it.
He also passes Scamos's cool test.
Yeah.
Does.
The survey's in. He's cool.
So, guys, I've got a bit of an idea, I think, about what we have to decide. I'm assuming that we're not going to talk to these guys, right? Are we just going to fight them?
Yeah.
And
Still
I'm
definitely
assuming
when
that
they-
this is all hushed tones as well, yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
We whisper.
okay. Yeah. We whisper.
I was thinking, because there's a lot of I can't remember which one, stalagmites and stalactites, but if we could, since I leveled up, I've now got magic missile, which I'm excited about. And I was thinking if I could magic missile the ceiling above them where they're talking, then maybe I could knock loose some heavy rocks and like stabby stalagmites or stalactites, whatever the downward ones are, and bring them down on top of them.
Before we actually even reveal ourselves and attempt any combat.
Exactly. And then really hit them hard. Because that's going to
really
hurt.
hit them hard, and then I think once we've hit them, then we'll focus our attention on the big boy, try and break their spirits by killing their boss.
Yes.
I've
What's
also
their
got a
heart-
few
their
ranged
heart is
attacks
dead.
as well.
But this
I
is
like-
just a thought. This is
I
just a
like
thought.
the idea. I like the idea.
How do we guarantee we're not going to hurt ourselves?
Oh yeah, don't want to bring down the whole cabin.
Yeah. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
We can always flee into the tunnels and just get our heads up on his asses.
Exactly.
Could I check first the ceiling, the cave roof directly above the congregation? Is it jagged rocks? Is it stalagmites or tights? I can't remember which one's which. What's above them?
I believe it's tights because they have to hold on tightly. I might be wrong. But yeah, roll a perception for me.
Google.
As you're kind of looking.
Tights coming down is the quarantine fever talking, Dan.
These are good, like 50, 60 foot away from you. This is a large cabin.
Guys, I don't want to alarm anyone. I just rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
yes.
you see the shit out of those.
Is it perception?
Perception, yeah.
So 21.
Oh, well, with that natural 20, yeah, it's... You kind of look about. This is man-made. People have dug and carved these cabin walls out. And broken into, like, underground chambers through it. So this area seems to be a underground chasm which they have dug into. So the walls and rocks and the walls themselves are a lot stronger. As you kind of look, the idea of it all collapsing and all crumbling on top of you is not likely. So the stalactites could come down. And as you kind of look up, there is quite a nice chunky one right above this larger bugbear creature.
One question, just before we do dive in. If we do cover him in rock, are we going to be able to reclaim the keys if he does have them?
Once everyone's dead, they could walk out in chains if they needed to. There's a blacksmith we passed on the way.
What I'm saying is, what if we bury them? I guess now you're right, I'm with you.
Something tells me we're not going to get this guy in one go. I think he's going to be pretty strong.
I don't think I'd be a very good dungeon master if you did.
I have visions of you rolling like a 1. This thing coming down, he just catches it as like a boulder and just throws it towards us.
Do not give Lewis any ideas.
I know.
But I like the plan. I can if you are going to do that, I could sort of stand on standby with some of my spells.
Get ready for some firebolts. He's all furry, didn't you mention? Light that fucker up.
Yeah, I've been thinking about bringing down like a roof section since you mentioned there were supports earlier on. So this seems like the perfect opportunity to do it. But yeah, we should before we go ahead and do it, we should talk about like how we're gonna follow up on that. Like, I don't know if there's a way for us to.
I think so. Yeah. So we're all whispering. We're talking in normal voices for the sake of audio quality here. But yeah, as we whisper our plan, I think we go with your plan. Bring the roof down, and then if I can because I can try my assassination powers, which gives me lets me do some more damage. So if I can use that before we enter combat proper, then I will open with that, and then I think as we whisper, we focus our attentions. Unless there's any imminent danger or someone we can stop getting to us, we focus our attentions on the big boy and get him out of the picture first, then we'll mop up.
Okay.
Alright. So I'd say before we properly enter combat, with you guys planning for this kind of sneak attack, I'd let everyone do like one thing. Yep. So like Oran wants to attack the stalactites, Finn probably has a spell ready that he'd like to throw, Scamos is probably going to start charging and breaching the gap and getting as close as he can so we can start assassinating, and then obviously Oroprax, you can have a think about what you'd like to do. But we'll do it one at a time, but this magic all happens at once, kind of.
Yeah, sounds good. Oroprax, do you have any sort of ranged attacks?
I have a couple.
Yeah. So if we all sort of stay up on this upper level, and use our ranged attacks, because then if they had to get to us, they would presumably have to climb this ladder.
Yeah, certainly if we get in range of that morning star. We've seen the type of damage a fall can give you today.
Yeah.
Well, one of them does have a javelin, but that's the
yeah. This is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be some comeback on this, guys. I think so. We're gonna be ready, but I agree. Right now, let's keep our distance, and we'll get at least our first round in from distance, and try and keep that range for as long as we can. Because right now we have the high ground, and if Obi-Wan taught us anything.
All right, let's do it. Oran Hammerhand, you're up first on this amazing surprise round.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
I want to focus on this big stalactite with my magic missile.
All right.
So I get to fire 3 glowing darts, magical force. I guess I'll do all because I don't know how strong structurally this is, so I'm just going to put all 3 into it.
All right.
And yeah, that's it. I guess that's the plan.
So you've never seen him do this before, but Oran kind of puts his hammer out, almost like Thor style, and almost does like a semicircle rainbow kind of arching motion. And as he does, on the top of his hammer, just like bloop, 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 these 3 like globules of energy just appear as like a kind of arc above him. He kind of juts the hammer forward ever so slightly, and they all just 3 just go straight towards this stalactite. Let's go. Roll those damages. So that'll be 3d4, and then plus 3 to that overall total of those 3d4.
Okay, so 3d4 is this little guy, right?
That's the bugger, yeah. Roll him 3 times, and then plus 3 to the overall total.
Okay, 2 is the first one. 2. 1. And 4. So 7. And did you say plus 3?
I did.
10.
10. All 3 of these spiral into each other and into the stalactite. It cracks and goes full straight down. This big bugbear looks up just in the nick of time. Is like, and it comes slamming down on top of him. Oof. And he takes damage. How much? I'll never tell. All right, and he kind of dives and comes and tumbles onto the floor as this stalactite just pierces the ground and then topples to the side and crumbles. They haven't realised what's happening because it's all happening at once. Let's go round to Finn. What are you up to?
So I would like to use one of my new spells.
All right, go for it.
Which is the Scorching Ray.
Yes.
So I'm looking at this, and the way the Scorching Ray works, from what I've read, is that it can fire 3 separate rays of fire.
Yes, it
and
can.
I can either choose one enemy, or I can choose multiple. I'm guessing even 3. So, do we think I should just aim all 3 at the big guy, or do you think I should maybe spread the fire out a bit? Maybe go for
this is a split second. You're all attacking at once, so
you got to do this on your own.
I've previously thought about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way I was thinking was I was going to maybe aim the 3 at 3 different enemies. 1 at the big guy, 2 at the smaller ones near him, hoping that they all just sort of get covered in fire. So that's my plan of action.
All right. You kind of spin your hand round, and a kind of single plume of flame erupts from one of your palms, and almost like water balloons, you're just kind of with your other hand scooping into this fire and pulling out a hunk of it and chucking it, and then scooping it again and pulling out another hunk of this kind of fire-like energy, and then finally scooping in the final bit and throwing that third one. Let's do them one at a time. So the first one, going straight for the bugbear in the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you're going to roll to see if that hits. Spell attack roll.
15.
15 for the bugbear. As it collides with him, as he's diving, it just skims his shoulder.
Right.
As this stalagmite's crashing, and it just erupts into the stalagmite and just shattering pieces of rubble even more. The second one, you scoop again, into the palm of your hand.
Come on, Carl. I mean,
1.
A 1. Ugh. Again, you huck it. You didn't take for account that the stalactite would blast him like to the left slightly. So as you're hucking, they're just where he was. You got to shoot where he's gonna be, not where he is.
Oh, it's like the last Space Invader.
Third one, you huck it. Go for it, man.
18.
That one hits.
Yay.
I believe that is 2d6 damage.
I know what a D6 is. That's one of the normals.
That's the bugger, yeah.
Okay, 4 and a 5. So 9 if it's 2d6.
Wow, excellent. And then roll a 20-sided dice for me, buddy. Just roll it straight up.
11.
11, okay. You feel like the wild magic of energy kind of build inside you, but you're like, ooh, that was weird. Kind of thing. Like, this is fun.
yeah.
Alright. Uraprax, what are you up to?
I'd like to use Phantasmic Force on the bugbear and have it imagine and picture some horrible stuff happening to it. So, what I would like to do I explain first and then roll, or?
Let me roll to see if it successfully
Okay.
enters his mind. I believe it's a wisdom saving throw I've got to make.
Yes.
I'll double check that for you super quick. Phantasmic Force.
Intelligence.
Intelligence, thank you. Ooh, okay. What have I got to beat?
I don't know.
Okay, so it would be 10 plus your charisma.
My charisma. Not my charisma. Plus 3.
Okay, 13 to beat. Alright. Okay, so I rolled a 3. Minus 1 for his intelligence. He's not the brightest bulb. Alright. Strange, weird visions as this giant stalagmite crashes into him and motes of fire erupt and scorch him. Strange images and visionary enters his mind. What does he see, Uraprax?
So the bugbear envisions the stalactite collapsing into him, and as it collides with the floor, bursts into this shroud of thick, inky smoke, which disperses and becomes a fleet of vampiric bats with fangs that are as long as his claws, that are just flooding over his vision and just relentlessly just coming for his face and just trying to just eat his flesh.
Okay. Well, you better make sure that you kill this bugbear, because if you don't, he's going to come back with a cowl and a cape and...
He was just leaving the opera.
Yeah, he was, yeah. Yeah, you didn't hear it, but they were discussing it, right? What about his pearls? What about his pearls?
Yeah. Oh, please have pearls on him.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta loot him, you're gonna have pearls.
Oh, unless he shouts Martha is like, why did you say that name? And we let him go.
Alright. On his... Okay, let me just make a note of that, because he's going to take psychic damage from that on his go. Scamos, you're the last one to kind of dive into action. What are you doing?
Right, so I'm gonna take a shot at him with my short bow, so I can stay at that distance. Obviously, this is a sneak attack, so I get an advantage on that.
Yes, you will.
And then, see if I can put one right between his eyes.
Sneaky boy.
Oh, or in his eye, that's fine.
Okay, roll that attack for me then, buddy.
Right, that is a 14 plus 4, so 18.
That hits. Roll that damage.
So the standard is 1d6 plus 2.
Mm-hmm. With the
So
additional
that's
2d6.
so I rolled a 4 plus a 6 in my first one, and then a 6, natural 6, and then a 1, so 13.
Okay. So from this weird cave veranda, you guys hurl magical energy that erupts and creates this stalactite to crush this bugbear. As it dives out of the way and gets impacted by this huge stalactite, 3 motes of fire come blasting towards it, and one of them hits him square in the back of the head and starts to incinerate the back of his ears and burn him up. At that point, everything erupts into bats, and he's about to call for his hobgoblins to help when an arrow just goes in one ear and out the fucking other. And these 2 hobgoblins, as they the dust settles and they're like coughing because there's stalactites gone everywhere, they're like, oh, boss, where are you, boss? Everybody roll initiative. Now we're going into combat. Jesus Christ.
17 for me.
16.
Oh, hang on.
Do we add anything to it?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. Initiative up by your.
Oh yeah, sorry. 16 plus 2, so 18.
Oh, mine's
yes.
plus 0, so yeah, mine's 17.
15.
15 here as well.
All good rolls.
One time I get a good roll, I still last.
19 for you, Scamus, was it?
18.
18. 19 for Uriprax, right?
15.
15. And Finn, sorry, what was yours?
17, sorry.
17. Alright. Yeah, okay. Very good rolls, everybody. However, the hobgoblins go first. What? They see the chaos and they're like, Boss, where are you? They look up and they see you, you little shit! And they get their longbows out and they start firing. The first one, let's see. He's gonna go for... God. He's gonna go for Scamos, because there's clearly an arrow. Everything else seems to be magic on fire and not sure where it's coming from, but there's definitely an arrow, and Scamos is the only one with a bow in his hand. So the first hobgoblin is going to take a shot at you, Scamos. But only rolls a 10. This arrow flies past you guys and just collides into the wall behind you and splits in 2. The second hobgoblin, also frustrated, will take another shot, trying to get Scamos. Jesus, rolled a 5, so that's not going to hit either. These 2 arrows just shoom, shoom past your shoulders.
We should have shouted, it's no use, I have the high ground.
But it is your go now, Scamos, so what would you like to do?
Right, let's try and break these guys mentally, having killed their boss. I will apply for my speaky action. I will shout with the magic of thaumaturgy to make myself extra spooky. Kneel or die? Bitches? Yes, bitches, please. Kneel or die, bitches.
Alright, roll intimidation then.
$12 plus is it intimidation on its own? Oh, plus 5. I made myself a spooky boy. So 17.
Excellent. Like Gandalf, the whole room ever so slightly darkens, and it almost looks like Scamos gets a little bit taller as he's like, kneel or die, bitches, in a huge booming voice.
A very Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Kneel or die, bitches.
The hobgoblins take a little bit of a step back. Oh, now I start rolling well. But as they take a little bit of step back, they kind of shrug it off and ready their bows again.
Right, so in that case, for my action, one of them is getting a one of them's getting an arrow then, as they have not kneeled. Time to get arrowed.
All right, loose that arrow then, buddy.
Right. 18 plus 4, so.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna hit.
And then I get d6 plus 2, so I've locked my phone, that's handy. So, rolled a 4, 6.
6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Okay.
And then for my final, my cunning action, I'm just going to try and space ourselves out a little bit. So I'm just going to dash to the side so we're not all bunched up anymore.
Okay.
I will stay on the high ground. I will just make sure we're safe from area of effect type situations.
Okay. As Scamos lets out this booming voice trying to intimidate them, this little goblin peeps his head, like sees what's going on, is in a panic, but sees that the two hobgoblins are fighting, so he should probably fight too. And he pulls back his little short bow and starts firing as well. This one is going to go over to Oran.
Oh, I'm next?
No, you're getting attacked, buddy.
Sorry.
18. Does 18 hit you?
18 is my armor class.
Ah, okay, so it meets it beats. You are going to take 5 points of damage as this little arrow, this little goblin arrow, goes right between the shoulder and the chest plate.
Should have gone for the littlest guy first.
Yeah, just how the rolls are.
This is the real boss.
Finn Ironleaf, you're up.
I think I'm going to go for the Scorching Ray again, even though it was such a disaster last time. Now that I've used it, I feel a bit more confident.
Yeah, okay.
in using it again. I'm going to fire all 3 fireballs at the 3 enemies that are right in front of us right now.
For one for each, yeah?
1 for each, that's right.
Alright, let's go for one of the hobgoblins first then. Roll for that attack.
19.
Oh yeah, that hits. Let's do that damage.
So damage is... What was
Each
it?
of them have 2d6, I believe.
2d6, yeah. First one's a 2. Second one's a 4, so 6 in total.
Oh, Jesus, that one goes down.
Yes.
So the one that I believe Scamos took a shot at gets a huge fireball just right in the chest and just pushes it back and topples backwards 10 foot, slamming against the wall of this cave. The second mote of fire goes to the second hobgoblin. Roll that.
So is that we're rolling the 20 again on this one?
Yep, we're rolling to see if it hits.
1.
Okay, that one misses. And then the third and final to the little goblin.
15.
Yep, that meets it beats.
Okay, so 5 on the first roll, 6 on the second roll, so 11.
That little goblin is engulfed in flame. It lets out a painful screech and starts just flailing about, running in circles almost, and then eventually stops running and just collapses in a little smouldering pile.
Nice.
Roll a d20 for me, buddy.
18.
You're fine.
Okay.
Okay,
My
Uraprax.
face isn't on fire or anything, then that's good.
No, not yet. Uraprax, I think you've gone muted, buddy.
Just remind me how many we've got remaining.
There is 1 hobgoblin and 1 goblin left.
Oh, there's 2 then.
There were 2 hobgoblins, yeah.
Ah.
I thought I didn't count the second goblin.
No, I didn't.
Why not? I would like to use Shatter
Okay.
in which a sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of my choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius centered on that point must make a Constitution saving roll, and then I do a shitload of damage. So I'd like to make a shatter noise appear next to the eardrum of the goblin that's farthest from us.
Okay, so the little goblin or the hobgoblin, the 1 hobgoblin remaining?
Which one's the furthest away?
I'd say the little goblin is furthest away.
The little goblin.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, wait, the little goblin's dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologise. There's only 1 hobgoblin left then.
Burned
I
up,
will
yeah.
use shatter by that goblin. So
Okay.
overkill.
So people are doing all these weird new hand gestures, and Oran Hammerhand's casting magical energy from his weapon, and Finn's shooting fireballs willy nilly, and you kind of turn. Uraprax kind of turns to the rest of the guys like, check this out. Just kind of wrenches his hands back as far as they go, and almost like butterfly slams them together in front of himself. And there's this huge erupting, ear-piercing thunderclap just comes from inside the cave, and just rubble and bits of dirt just start to fall on you guys. There's this huge eruption of sound. They make a Constitution saving throw, right?
Yes.
And it was 13 to beat.
No, that was intelligence.
The roll to beat it is always you 10 plus your. Or sorry, for the moment it would be 13 for you. It will go up, but for the moment it's 13.
Okay.
Okay. So +1. So I rolled a 10. They're going to take 3d8 thunder damage, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, roll that.
3d8.
6, 12, 19.
Okay, how do you want to do this? Because this is it.
Do thunderous clouds actually appear, or is it just literally thunder as it sounds?
It is a noise. It is like a sound detonation.
The sound erupts in such a powerful burst next to his ear that sparks of electricity almost look like they appear next to him. His head is shoved sideways from the force of it as he is bound hard at the wall, where he smashes his skull and then just slips onto the floor.
And this ear piercing, you guys, some of you even like cover your ear. As this horrible ringing in your ear erupts, and you get that kind of petricorn smell of rain kind of just hit you guys instantly from this huge like detonation.
I say, "Is everyone okay?"
Everyone now sounds like the teacher from Charlie Brown, so we're like, yeah.
We have to get the king.
Translate subtitles. Shall we loot the corpses?
Alrighty. So, as the kind of silence returns and the ringing stops, you guys, one by one, slide down this little ladder onto the lower floor, and kind of walk over to this chunk of stalactite, and you start picking the bodies.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Loves a bit of looting. I'm keeping the record of what we've looted so far from this adventure, guys. I'll get my note up.
I'd like to take the longbow, if I can. So I don't have a ranged weapon. Not that matters.
You've got the thunderclap.
Hey, where I come from, we just call it the clap.
That's 1 second. Uraprax. As tempting as it might be, you know that you yourself wouldn't know how to use the longbow.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Your bard is not proficient in using that. There are ways of going about that you can become proficient in it, so you're more than welcome to take it and learn how to use it in time. But for the moment, you're like, I know how a bow and arrow works, but I wouldn't know the first thing of actually shooting it properly, kind of thing.
Pluck it like a harp.
Yeah.
String harp.
Okay, so you guys are starting to dig through this bugbear and these hobgoblins.
Oh, as we're looting him, I whisper to the bugbear, "This is for Benson," and I spit on him.
All right, that you do.
I also mentioned that didn't the previous villagers that they just they just didn't give a shit about this Brenton guy in the end when we asked them about it.
No,
To be fair, his name may have been Jensen.
Yeah. This is for that guy we may or may not know.
Brenton. Alright.
So we all say a different name and spit on the guy.
Jensen, Benson,
Boris.
Draxon.
Donner and Blitzen. Oh, has my iPad crapped out on me? It might have done. We'll eyeball it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Okay, you guys start to rummage through the bugbear. He does have a set of chunky rusted keys on him.
Nice.
He also has a crowbar. He himself has a rotting fish head. And I believe... Let's have a look, see. Who was looting him?
I went over. I'd love a crowbar.
Roll a 12-sided dice for me, buddy.
Oh, a 12-sided one? Is
Oh,
this
yeah.
a 12-sided one? It might be a 12-sided one. It has an 11 on it,
Doesn't
so...
have the number 12 on it.
I haven't rolled a 12, I've rolled an 11, but it's not a 20-sided dice, so I can only assume. Is there something between 12 and 20?
No.
In that case, this is the 12-sided dice. 11.
11. You start to rummage through this bugbear's armour, and you find 5 gems.
Ooh, it's too real.
Not 100% sure how much these are worth. However, even in this dark and dank cave, they do have a nice shine to them.
Probably worth almost as much as the 5 silver we gave for the potion.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Yeah, I'll give you 5 silver for those gems if you want.
Yeah.
I'll give it.
These could be infinity stones. We're going to keep hold of them for a while.
Okay, Scamos is looting the bugbear. Is anyone else doing anything?
I'll loot the smallest of the bunch.
The PA.
The PA guy.
Yeah. Nothing on him but a single silver piece.
I grab the silver piece excitedly and enthusiastically and hold it up and then put it in my pocket.
Huzzah!
I'll add it to our loot list that we've looted.
I'll write it down. 1 silver piece.
I'll loot a hobgoblin.
Okay. Roll a 12-sided dice for me, buddy.
5.
5. Interesting. Doesn't seem to have anything on him much until you get to like one of the back pockets where your hand reaches like a dry paper-like material, and as you pull it out, it seems to be the top half of a wanted poster. However, it is old and tattered and half of it's missing. However, this whoever this person is wanted, you can kind of make out the telltale signs of potential like elf ears, as you've literally just got the forehead of this guy.
Is it the elves?
From what you can see just the tips of ears and just a long tuft, kind of almost like a lion-y kind of mane. Okay. But from what you remember, the oaks were quite well kept and had quite like tamed hair. This seems to be, I mean, again, you've only got the forehead and you've only got like the tips of elf-like ears, but it looks like a wanted poster for like a elven wild mountain man, from what you can make out.
I think there's one body that hasn't been looted yet, so if there is, if I'm remembering the number of enemies correctly, I'll loot him just now.
Yeah, okay. Roll the 12-sided dice for me.
6.
6. For some reason, this hobgoblin has a book.
Oh,
It's
nice.
very old and very, very weathered. And blood-stained. to the point where some of the pages are sticking together. And as you kind of scrub and kind of brush all the crust and crud off the front of it, it says a brief history of dwarven doors and hinges.
Excellent.
Nice.
And you kind of open it, and some of the pages tear as they're so stuck together and stuck to the actual backs of the book. Be quite an interesting read, but it just seems to go into detail the intricacies of dwarven forging when it comes to door handles and hinges.
I'll take that. Thank you.
All right. Huzzah!
Okay, should we go back and free our comrades who did nothing, who aren't really comrades? Or should we? I think what we should do is we go back to that chamber, make it look as though we're going to unlock them, then go, no, go to leave as if we're going to leave, and just make them still in a little bit because they did nothing to help and all they caused was problems.
So I tell you what we'll do is we'll take these keys back to the pub, and if anything goes south, we'll have locked it down.
Yes. Let's go give it to Hendrix. Give the keys to Hendrix and tell him where the people are.
But should we go back via because it sounds like maybe there's like a circuit that we can go around, because remember there was one tunnel that we didn't go down. Should we go back the way we came, or should we
I think we should just do a real casual walk, what you've just described, walk back through the corridor and back into the chamber with them rather than crawling through the
let's go that way for sure.
Okay, as you kind of finish up here and start to, like I said, this is quite a horseshoe-shaped structure, this chamber. And as you kind of bank round, it does narrow down into a passageway, which seems to connect that smaller area with the little campfire and the basin. But as you kind of bang around this corner, tucked to the left-hand wall, is a treasure chest.
Oh. I run to the treasure chest and open it.
It's locked.
But we've got the keys though, right? We have keys.
We
try our keys. I've got the keys here. Let me.
We try every key.
Like a caretaker, I come over like this one.
Yep. With a little bit of trial and error, the chest unlocks.
Yes.
As you lift it up, you are delighted to see a large smattering of golden coins, as well as a couple of silver and bronze coins, a couple of gems and gemstones.
I should buy us one single potion.
As well as 3 potions. All 3 of them seem to be just like the second one that Europrax found. Simple, a red liquid.
Oh, hold on, guys.
Okay, should we keep these for a bit?
Well, whenever you find potions in a dungeon, it means there's something coming up ahead. Maybe we should go back the way we came.
Sorry, just run through what we had in the thing then. So we have 3 potions. What else was there in terms of monies?
It would take a little bit of while counting, but it looks like, for lack of a better word, roughly 120 gold pieces.
Damn, Daniel.
20.
You can buy so
Is
many
this-
potions with that.
Is this stuff even carryable?
As you start to kind of dig through and start putting it in your pockets, your hand hits cloth thin.
More clothes.
Oh.
Come on.
Okay. Is this like pullable, like perhaps a bag that's been thrown into the chest?
Yeah, you get a grip on it and pull it out, and it is a backpack.
Nice.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to sling that onto my back. We'll divvy this up later, guys.
Deal.
Europrax can't be trusted with potions. I'll keep those in my pocket.
Low blow, man.
Finn, as you sling this onto your back, you get a slight buzz. This backpack almost seems to have a slight resonance to it, and you can almost feel like a coldness on your back.
Oh, potential evil backpack here, guys.
It's just the cold coins.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just wet.
To be honest, it's not as bad as I imagined when we said we felt a slight buzz. It's like, It's full of bees. Oh no! Just throw it into the next horde of enemies.
Finn, do a Arcana check for me.
I've picked up a cursed backpack, haven't I? Right. Arcana, right, let's have a look. Okay. 10 plus 3, 13.
13. You kind of put it on your back, and as you kind of adjust it, and it's like, oh, it actually fits quite nicely, you kind of feel that weird kind of thrum coming from it, that weird, like, vibration resonance. You're like, okay, that's weird. Kind of sling it back off, and you open it up. And as you open it up and look inside, it is, like, void, like pitch black. And you kind of look into this backpack, and it's almost bottomless. Like, it's completely a void of light. You can't see the bottom of this backpack. You're like, no, that can't be right, kind of thing. And you slowly put your hand in, and as you put your hand in, it's slightly cold to touch. But you Mary Poppins all the way up to your shoulder with this backpack. And as you kind of really reach in and like almost putting half your shoulder in and almost half your head, you're like, Jesus, this backpack goes on forever. You feel something cold and glass at the bottom of it. What do you do?
I carefully pull out the glass object for a closer look.
You slowly pull out, this is crazy for you three to see. It's almost Mary Poppins. The hand is going all the way in, like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. He pulls out a single potion.
I'll drink it. I won't.
No!
Is it the same as the other potions we've seen, or?
This potion seems to have a kind of orangey gold hue to it. And unlike the other potions, which have a nice kind of slosh, Finn kind of looks at this one and turns it in his hand, and the stuff inside is thick and syrupy and viscous. You kind of almost like honey, like you tilt it, and it takes a while to kind of follow the curvature of the bottle itself.
Okay, I think this is some sort of magical bottomless backpack or something, so I'm going to get really excited right now. Instantly ditch my old backpack and put all my possessions into this fancy shiny new magic backpack.
They just want you. Once you start doing that, you realise that this backpack also has 2 little side pockets on each side, and you're taking stuff out of your backpack and you just boom, and they're just disappearing into the void.
Love it.
Boom.
You have a hammer space bag. How good!
And later, if we're fighting any more enemies, if you can sneak up on them, you can just put them in your bag, and they're no longer a threat.
Yeah.
And it's almost quite humorous. It
back.
gets to the point where you can almost like Scrooge McDuck just scooping the gold out of this chest and into this backpack, just literally shoveling.
This
You
is
can
great.
carry us all if we get tired.
Yeah, this is amazing. Loving this find.
Alright. Just for you to know exactly what it is, you are now in possession of a handy haversack.
It doesn't sound like a very grand name for what it was. A handy haversack.
Handy haversack.
It's like I imagine it's like a brand name, like Hoover or Jet Ski.
What's a Hoover?
It's a type of dragon.
Oh, yeah.
And dam. No questions on what a jet ski is.
Oh, I thought you just, made some weird guttural noises you were talking.
With a little bit of tinkering and Scrooge McDucking with the coins, you get to realising that this central pocket is about an 8-foot cube of space, which seems to, for what you can tell so far, seems to just carry that amount of weight. It seems to be a bigger on the inside interdimensional pocket within this backpack of this 8 cubic feet of space. The 2 smaller little pouches on the side of the backpack don't carry as much. You can start Scrooge McDucking and throwing coins into that, but they do eventually start to overflow. But it seems like you've got
2 pockets which hold quite a bit, and then a central pocket which holds quite a lot.
Cool.
Should we go rescue some people?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's holding the keys? You, Scamos.
I got the keys, yeah.
You continue out of this chamber and into the pathway. As you can see, it kind of continues onto the little campsite area with the pool of water, and like lo and behold, there is a branching path to the left which connects back round to the chamber that Uraprax noticed and shouted out about, and Finn noticed and shouted out about previously. And you can make a big semicircle, big full loop round back to the original chamber where all the captives are.
Oh yeah. Guys, we come bearing gifts.
Oh yeah, we go up towards where they're locked up.
Yeah. Okay. Again, a little bit of trial and error finding the right key for the right locks, but slowly and surely you manage to unlock everybody. Takes a little bit of persuading, convincing, but you manage to rouse everyone. A lot of them, some of them are a lot worse off and very much on the cusps. Would probably have to be supported and semi-carried, and at least definitely helped up the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, what do you reckon, guys? Let's just get out of here, shall we?
Should we head back as long we go? Are we leaving this place as it is? Little goblin hidey hole?
Yeah.
See, the syrupy honey-like potion. Did we ever find out what that was?
I think we should look that up later, should we?
Sure.
Yeah, but let's look at it when we're out in the open. As we walk back to the exit, though, I engineer the walks. Obviously, we're all in procession now with these injured parties going out. I make sure I'm walking next to Oren for a second, and I'm like, "Hey, Oren, when we're almost at the exit, just as we're leaving, before it's probably polite for us to kind of shut the door behind us, right? So when we've got safe line of sight to the exit, how do you feel about another little cave-in? Or what about that tinderbox you're so fond of?"
Yeah.
I mean, we can leave this real estate for other goblins to come into if you like, but we want to secure this. We want to secure the town for future people as well, right?
I've been eyeing up these supports and struts the whole way, so I'm very happy to take these down when everyone's out safely.
When we're right by the door, maybe we'll take one end of the scarf and then we'll yank you out while you're holding.
All right. It gets a little bit awkward as some of these pathways are quite narrow, especially the first place you came with the ladder, and helping some of these injured people up is a little bit of a ball ache, and there's a little bit of a tight squeeze. But eventually, one by one, you get them all up. And the last one to come up is Oran. He takes a look at one of the support beams. He takes a look at the other. Being a dwarf and living in the mountains, he knows exactly what to do. He raises his big, chunky warhammer, just slams it against one of these planks of wood, which instantly buckles and splinters, and the whole thing starts to domino effect and crash behind him as he is the last one to scurry up into the ladder, back into the abandoned house.
Hooray!
Awesome.
And I think that's a good place to leave it there.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Monsters and Madness. If you'd like to find out more about myself, you can find me on Instagram @LouisHay, where I post a bunch of different silly sketches and doodles. If you'd like to find out more about John, you can find him on his Twitter @JohnCrinnan, or his website johncrinnan.com, where you'll find all the links to his stories and his other podcasts. You can find Carl on his Twitter @CarlHughes, or you can visit hawkandcleaver.com to learn more about how they help fresh and upcoming podcasters. To find Daniel, you can find him on his Twitter @WilcoxAuthor, or visit danielwilcox.com to learn more about his books and his special bootcamp to help new authors. You can find Andy CT on his Twitter @AndyCTWrites, or visit theotherstories.net to hear some of his horrifically twisted creations. The Monsters and Madness theme tune was created by Timo Henderson. You can check out his website, timohenderson.com, to see what kind of awesome music he can create, especially for you and your next project. And lastly, our background music was produced by Daniel Birch and downloaded from freemusicarchive.org. Visit his website, danielbirchmusic.com, to see what other music he has available. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you soon.